Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And tonight, folks, the world of politics and sports collide as President Trump will attend Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. The number to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222. The president being here for the game is wonderful. Even acknowledged by the commissioner of the NBA. He's here at the invitation of the team owner, Jim Dolan. But of course, Trump derangement syndrome coming into play. We'll have much more on this. Thank you, border czar Tom Homan. Homan vowing more ICE agents. ICE, baby, will be seen in New York City than ever before. He says he's going over the plan right now. I ask this question, and I mean this sincerely. If you don't have anything to hide, why are you threatened with ICE coming here? How many lives? How many do we have to lose? How many do we have to lose? Homeless maniac arrested, and that bloody Penn Station attack that left 5 innocent people injured, stabbed. And what's so ironic about the situation, as I pointed out on the Midnight Show, when I do take the train, that is the direct path that I come into New York City. Suffering, New York to Secaucus, on to Penn Station, New Jersey Transit. And when you get off at Penn Station, it's almost like you're in a homeless shelter yourself. Somebody may be urinating in the corner, another person is asleep, another person is talking to themselves. And that's the way it is. It's not because of the police. It's because of these civil liberty lawyers that fight on behalf of the homeless, that say they have a right, that they are entitled to be there and inconvenience anyone and everyone else. Carmelo Anthony, the case out in Texas, the jurors shocked to their core over they looked at autopsy photos. I'm going to tell you something, folks, about autopsy photos. It's not funny. When I started my career back in 1986, I had to go to the restroom and throw up. I'll tell you about that in a second. But the accused killer, this African-American teenager, refused to look at the autopsy photos. And I saw something online as it relates to this case that caught my eye.
Here's the reality. If this dead-eyed teen, Carmelo Anthony, had killed a black teen, it would just be a local headline, and left-leaning Black America would not be going to bat for him. They wouldn't even care. But because it's a white teen that he killed, they want him to be able to walk free. Even though he was asked to leave the tent multiple times, even though he was threatening Austin, even though he brought a knife to a track meet. Who does that? That's only an unhinged teen would do that. Your kids are not safe around teens like this. Your kids are not safe around anyone who thinks that this young man should walk free.
And Carmelo Anthony is being held up as a hero by some in the community. It's utterly disgusting. It's exactly what's wrong in urban America. It's what's wrong in Black America. What's wrong is right. What's right is wrong. In the meantime, Carmelo Anthony, it's you, young man, that's going to jail for a very long time, for prison when this case is over. There is no way that he walks from this, and it is what it is. So I want to go back to, for a second, Carmelo Anthony wouldn't look at the autopsy photos, right? Accused of killing a young man his age. And I remember 1980, the case of Eleanor Bumpers in Bronx, New York. I'm straight out of graduate school, Syracuse University, very high-profile case. Of course, the media making much of the fact that it was a white police officer that was forced to use deadly force that is, with a shotgun. She was to be evicted from her apartment. Deranged and acting irrationally. The officer, and she was threatening to use hot lie. The NYPD called in to help with this situation, and ultimately the officer was cleared, as he should have been. But of course, this tied up his career for years. Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines, 800-848-9222. Politics and sports on the same path tonight. President Trump in town. Game 3 for the New York Knicks. This is New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
Tonight is Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and it is an extraordinary moment for the Knicks and for fans across the 5 boroughs. A chance to celebrate this team and this run with the energy that only New York can bring. But tonight will also bring a major presidential visit to Madison Square Garden. As you know by now, because of that visit, and in coordination with the United States Secret Service, there will unfortunately be no watch party outside of Madison Square Garden for Game 3 of the Finals, and no access to the immediate vicinity of MSG without an authorized reason to be there. Starting at 4 p.m., no one will be allowed inside the secured area unless they have a ticket to the game, a train ticket, they are going to a business inside the area, they have credentials, or they have some other authorized reason to be there. Everyone entering the secure area will be screened by the New York City Police Department.
The Secret Service's focus is straightforward: to ensure everyone attending the game can enjoy the game and have a safe experience while we carry out our responsibility to protect the President of the United States. To support that mission, there will be enhanced law enforcement and security presence in and around Madison Square Garden. All attendees will pass through TSA-style magnetometer screening before entering the arena. I strongly encourage fans to arrive at MSG at least 2 hours before tip-off.
So inconvenience, yes, but it's a wonderful thing that the President of the United States is going to be in attendance. Folks, cut out the nonsense. Stephen A. Smith says that Trump shouldn't be there. I'll get to that in just a second. Let's expose Mamdani for the phony that he is, right? He's a man of the people. If you believe that, I got a great deal for you. I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge for 50 cents. For 50 cents if you believe that Mamdani is a man of the people. He's going around touting to reporters, oh, I bought $1,000 standing room only ticket, right? He's trying to show he's a man of the people, that as the mayor, he's not going to be in a seat, that he's going to be standing. Absolute phony. Listen to your mayor, Mamdani.
Are you going to be meeting with the president while he's here in New York City? And then also, you were saying that you purchased a standing room only ticket. I'm just not familiar. Did you get like a discount from the Garden through that, or was that just something you bought online on like Ticketmaster?
So that's something that I purchased directly from the Madison Square Garden. Close to $1,000 was the price of it. And standing room only is just the section that I'll be standing in. When it comes to the president, I don't have any scheduled meeting with the president. However, I'm sure that our conversations will continue about how to serve the city. Thank you.
Mamdani, you're still a phony. You still received preferential treatment. You left that part out of your response. If you were not the mayor of New York City, you would not even be able to get $1,000 standing room ticket. You left that out of your response, and the reporters act like they don't know how to follow up. 800-848-9222. I'm still thinking about President Trump. Meet the press yesterday. He had it. He does not like being asked about. It's very sensitive to him. That fund for January 6th, folks, he blew up last week at the woman Kristen Collins, or whatever her name is, on CNN. And then the same thing happened yesterday on Meet the Press. They were doing the interview in Wisconsin in a barn, and you could hear the rain, but the president was not a happy camper.
What they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let me ask you about Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about Todd Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk about Todd Blanche.
There's tremendous evidence. There's nothing but evidence. The election was rigged. It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in California.
You've never presented evidence.
It's happening
the
right now in
election
California.
Was rigged.
Right now, look at what's happening in California.
Where's the evidence to that?
It's
the
4 days.
Republicans are doing well in
California. No, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with it.
You
know why they're doing that? Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
all
that?
I have to do is look. All I have to do is look.
That's not evidence.
And I listen to people, and let's see what happens.
But, sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's appropriate?
That's how they count the votes in California.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election, and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a winner?
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quicker. That's how they vote in California.
They're crooked, just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well,
continue.
you play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid. You play right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But, Mr. President,
you know why I got that? Because you have no credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd Blanche.
You have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
your
about
elections in this country. We're like a third world country. Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you for an hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what? A country can never be great with a dishonest press.
Listen, we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Boo-hoo, you traveled all the way to Wisconsin. Let's start with your telephone calls. Line 3, Peter. I don't know if this is Peter in Harlem, but yes, it is Peter in Harlem. What's on your mind, Peter?
Dominic, we disagree many times, but I have a question for you. You seem to be one of the president's strongest supporters on the air. Do you think there's a possibility that you might get him to call in and speak to you, so that we, the public, can see or hear the interaction?
Peter, you know darn well, yes, I can. You know darn well that no matter what Mr. Trump says, you will never accept it. Why are you playing this silly game?
Question. I said, would you...
And I said yes. Now, why are you playing this silly game? You know darn well you do not want to hear President Trump. Why are you playing this silly game?
What's wrong with you, Dominic?
No. The question is, I'm not the one where the sirens are always going off outside my apartment. That's you. Why are you playing this silly game?
Matidis is sicker than you are, because he gets some kind of vicarious thrill out of having a moron like you that misinterprets everything.
Right. Peter, you've never answered what you do for a living. How do you? I would bet my life on it. You receive government subsidies, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? The next time you call, I'm not taking your call because you have a habit of once you get your rocks off, you hang up. Right? You know, like I know, you don't want to hear President Trump. You're the reason why Carmelo Anthony's on trial in Texas. Because of people like you telling these black kids the absolute wrong thing you should be telling them instead of holding them accountable. So the next time, Peter, don't call me. Call somebody else. Or the word is, as I was told by numerous producers, that you used to kiss Bob Grant's ass all the time. Too bad Bob is not around anymore for you to kiss his ass. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And in the world of sports, Stephen A. Smith of ESPN says President Trump should not be at tonight's game.
It's strictly a basketball segment. This president has no business showing up in New York City. I am dead serious. It is selfish. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama, George W., Clinton. I don't give a damn. We went back to Reagan. This is not a football stadium in some space in Texas where you got a whole bunch of outlays and all of this. This is the Garden. This is Midtown Manhattan. You have any idea what the congestion is going to be like in New York City here? I get off my radio.
You know what, Stephen A., I like you. I really do. But shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Stick to sports. Leave politics alone. I know you dabble in politics. You want to think that you know it all, but you really don't, my friend. Stick to the world of sports. Stay in your lane. The star of the San Antonio Spurs was asked about President Trump being at the game.
Particularly with the president coming in, does that make it a more difficult task to lock in, to zone in on what you need to do, the additional hecticness of it?
Not really. I think it could be, but isolating myself is something I've practiced over the years, and I think I'm good at it, so it's not a problem. This is similar to something media-wise like the Olympics.
800-848-9222. Let's go to line 3, Oscar in Manhattan. Oscar, what's on your mind?
I think it's one of the most excellent things that he has done to watch the game, sir. Thank you. Going straight to the point.
Okay, wait. Sir, wait. You said he. Who's he?
Commander-in-Chief, our beloved president, Mr. Donald Trump. Okay,
you need to say that so I can follow you. Okay, go ahead.
And one of the most excellent things he's doing during his presidency is to go watch a game where all the kids are watching them, all the fans are watching it, and seeing that our commander-in-chief, our great president, is there, representing our beautiful nation there, and doing something positive for the nation. And also, maybe that will be showing an example to Maidani. Maybe Maidani could change his ways. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's not going to happen. Good luck with that. Hey, Oscar, I got to move on. Thank you for the great call. Let's go to Ernie in Lindenhurst, line 4. Ernie, what's on your mind?
Hey, Stephen A. shouldn't show up to the game then, we don't want to see him there either, right?
Yeah, but you know what? But Stephen A., this is his bread and butter, the world of sports. I mean, so we can't tell him not to show up. This is what he does for a living. Correct, Ernie?
Yes. Sorry. The sad thing is the Knicks better not lose 4 because it'll be Trump's fault that the Knicks lost.
Yeah, you know what? You're so correct, Ernie. It's being set up right now that if Jalen Brunson and his father, who's a coach on the team, and the Knicks lose, that somehow it's Trump derangement syndrome. It's Trump's fault that the team lost, even though Trump used to go to the Knicks games all the time back in the day. Even though Trump helped build the city of New York in terms of tax dollars, nobody wants to pay attention to that now. They just don't want him at the game. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I am going back to your telephone calls, looking at my Twitter at my ex. Donna Marie in Philly says, Dominic TV, folks were not upset when President Obama went to many, and she capitalized the word many, Chicago Bull games. That is correct. Let's see here. Dennis Walker says Stephen A. Smith is a moron. Donald Trump is the modern day Robert Moses. He rebuilt half of New York City. Dennis, you are so correct. So I just want to make sure I got this right. This Trump derangement syndrome stuff, it is nutty and it has to stop. So the owner of the New York Knicks, Jim Dolan, invited President Trump to the game. The commissioner of the NBA says it's a wonderful thing. What is wrong with these morons? You hate Trump that much? The man was going to many Knick games before many of these critics were even born. Let's see. Let's take your calls on a number of issues that we are dealing with. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey, line 2. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Oh, good afternoon, Dominic. I was thinking about Anthony Carmelo and Austin Metcalf.
Right, Carmelo Anthony, the case out in Texas. Okay.
Yes, and I'm looking at Austin Metcalf, a picture of him. I'm looking at him. He is a young, beautiful. Now, both of them. If this happened to Anthony, I would feel the same way. I don't care what color your skin is. I'm looking at this beautiful young man who's now under the ground for the rest of his life. Well, his life is over forever. And I say to myself, you go to a game to have a good time. No one should ever bring a knife. So that's what Anthony did was wrong. You don't bring a knife. And then when I read how he penetrated so deeply into the body of this boy, it got to the bone, it pierced his bone and cut part of his heart. Look, this is wrong what happened. Like I said, I don't care who it happened to. It shouldn't have happened, and it was wrong to bring a knife. If someone irritates you, and we all get irritated often, we got to watch our step, but we never do that. We walk away. You can say words if you want, but you never do that. Again, they all came to a game to have a good time, and this beautiful boy, I'm looking at him happy, animated, full of life in his football yellow uniform, and it breaks my heart. I don't know him, but he's not here anymore, and this should never have happened. That's my opinion.
Well, thank you, Sandra. It gets even worse than that. He died in the arms of his brother. I believe his twin brother, but he certainly died in the arms of his brother. And then it makes you wonder, right? This Carmelo Anthony kid is sick. I'm sorry, okay? Because most of us know it's very hard to get a knife that sharp where it can penetrate the chest and get to the heart. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to work on sharpening that knife. And so how did it get that sharp? Why did you have it in your bag? Why was mommy on TV crying, talking about my baby, when she should have been crying for the horrible job she did in raising you? How about that, mommy and daddy? And how about it's not wise to move into $1 million gated community with blood money that people raise for your son's defense? And who are the nuts that would give this kid a dime for his defense based on what happened? Sandra, thank you for the telephone call here. Let's see. Let's go to Glenn, Edison, New Jersey. Glenn, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, they had a petition to recall Gavin Newsom, and they went through 9 million votes in one night and awarded Gavin Newsom.
Okay, Glenn, let's get to the point. What's the point you're trying to make?
So they counted 9 million votes in one day.
Glenn, wait, you're mixing two things. First, you talked about the recall. Now you're talking about the recent election. Which one do you want to focus on? And we got to move quickly.
Well, yeah, he was never impeached for
Right, we know that, Glenn. What is your point? We know it was a recall effort that he survived. What is the point you're trying to make, Glenn?
I'm talking about the Los Angeles race with.
No, I know that for the last time. What is the point that you're trying to make?
I mean, how can they do it in one day and now it's taken a week for Spencer Pratt and Hilton?
Well, I hear you on your concern. It's what everybody's talking about right now, including the President of the United States. Thank you for the call. It's utterly disgusting. It leads to further calls about corruption. It's awful what's going on in California, but you don't need me to tell you that. All you have to do is go to a city in California these days, and you know exactly what time it is. Remember, when you would think of San Francisco, you would think of Fisherman's Wharf, right? You know, going there to have a great time. What do you think about now when you say San Francisco? The homeless is out of control. When you say Los Angeles, what do you think about? I mean, the last time I was in California, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, was years ago at one of the political conventions. And I remember at like midnight, the news staff, we all went down to the beach and put our feet in the water, driving along the coastline. It was beautiful. What do you think about now in LA? The homeless that are taking over the city. It really is that simple. Let's go to line 2. Sammy and the Bronx. Sammy, what's on your mind?
Dominic, read in the news that Mayor Mondano is taking Sean Piker to the Knicks game, and this is a disgrace. It's
Whoa. One more time. You said he's taking Sean Piker. Are you sure about that?
That's what I read on, I don't want to say the other news company, but that's what he said. And then Madani said he got tickets for $1,000. I don't know.
No, I know. Wait. I'm one that's very factual. So, and that's my background. So maybe you're right. And I don't want to promote another station, but I know Mamdani talked about buying $1,000 standing room only ticket. And you're saying that he's stupid enough to take Sean Piker to the game tonight? I find that hard to believe, but it wouldn't surprise me.
If I was the owner of the Knicks, this guy is not allowed 2,000, 3,000 feet near Madison Square Garden for what he said about our fellow Americans who were murdered. Disgrace. And I'm surprised.
But I don't think Jim Dolan. I don't think Jim Dolan can do that by law. I mean, he was able to do it with the people, the lawyers that had sued him. But I don't think by law he could do that, Sammy.
Oh, it's a wake-up call. It's just that this guy is garbage. This guy, Piker, is garbage. He has no respect for humanity. He doesn't care about nobody, about himself.
Agreed.
And he has no
He doesn't
respect.
even love his own dog. Put the electric collar around the dog's neck. A man that doesn't love his own dog tells you all you need to know. Sammy, thank you for the great call. Let's go to line 3. Mike and Ramsey, New Jersey. Mike, what's on your mind?
Dominic, I think that you're great. I love your show. Am I reading that you did not like Bob Grant, or am I?
No, I don't know where you're getting that from. I was making the point. This guy Peter in Harlem calls up all the time trying to give me a hard time. What I'm trying to point to, and maybe it's a good thing that you're bringing this up, the double standard that I face as a black man. So Peter from Harlem wants to call me everything, every type of Uncle Tom, every type of a horrible name you can come up with, while crime is completely out of control in the black community. Look what's happening in the black community with Carmelo Anthony in Texas. But yet he would call up Bob Grant and kiss his ass nonstop. And how did I find this out? Because our producers told me this is the same Peter from Harlem that would praise Bob Grant. And now a black man is now in the same chair that Bob Grant held, and I have to face a double standard. I thought Bob Grant was outstanding, one of the best. In fact, one of the greatest highlights of my career has been to be called the Black Bob Grant. So did I answer your question, Mike?
You absolutely did, and you are, definitely. But no,
well, thank you.
I don't want to do that. You're better than him. You're really good, and you are a true conservative, and God bless you, sir. Keep going.
Well, thank you. That's very kind and very nice of you to say, Mike. But I was just making the point that Peter in Harlem, and you have some people that are like that. I'm being as real with you folks as I can be right now. By the mere color of my skin, they expect for me to hide every problem in the black community. If that's what you think you're going to get from me, you got the wrong guy. It's not going to happen. No matter what community it is, I'm going to call a spade, and if you don't like it, there's the door. It's that simple. Or there's the dial, okay, in this case, to be more specific. And so I just find it rather ironic that I'm going to be blunt with you people, that when it came to a white man, that he bows down and Bob Grant, I love you. But when it comes to a black man, 40 years later, I'm every type of Uncle Tom and everything under the sun. I just find that rather ironic. So, Judith, I received a couple of complaints, Judith in Brooklyn on line 5. Judith, I like you. Why do you think haters of people like you and Sandra and one or two others, why do you think they have a problem with me taking your call? I think you add to the program.
Who has a problem with us calling?
Online and in emails. You should see some of the comments that I get. They're haters. They're absolute haters. Oh, you take all these women phone calls. That's all done intentionally because historically, their voices have not been as equal as to what they should be. So I go out of my way to take calls from women listeners. But I was just curious to ask you, why do you think that they're haters? They hate on you. They hate on 2 or 3 others. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because they probably have a different mindset and they see things differently and have their opposite opinion, and it's their right. I don't care. I will still stand.
And I don't either. You know what, Judith? I don't either. So I don't know why they're emailing me or putting comments on social media and so on. Anyway, what's your point today, Judith?
Wow. Okay. Thanks for that information. But okay, listen. First of all, before I even tell you what I want to talk to you about, Peter called you a moron. So, Peter, why would you call a moron? If you think Dominic is a moron, why would you even bother calling him, Peter? And by the way, Dominic,
well, let me just say this, Judith. Let me just say this. People like Peter, they have a hard time looking in the mirror. They're stuck in their life. Their life didn't amount to anything. And then you have somebody like me, young, bold, does not back down. Now, if I was talking all that black talk, then Peter would love me. But because I tell the truth about what's going on, he doesn't want to hear that. And then thus comes the names. Go right ahead, Judith.
And you should only know, Bob Grant, one of the things he used to say to people that were very annoying and whatever, he would say, why don't you gargle with razor blades? But let me move on.
And I like that. Hey, Judith, you got to help me come up with a modern day, why don't you gargle with razor blades? I absolutely love that. Go ahead.
Yeah, like why don't you exercise your vocal cords and gargle with razor blades? Okay, listen. Professional players, Dominic, are conditioned and programmed to be laser focused on their job that they were hired to do. They don't see anybody. They don't know about audience. They don't care about President Trump. They care to do their job. That's what it is, and that's any professional. That's in anything you do. That's if you're dancing in front of an audience, you don't know anyone or anything. You have to do your job the way you're conditioned and programmed. You don't know anybody or anything. You're doing your work and doing it laser focused. That's what it is. So it's ridiculous what they're talking about. It's going to affect the players. No, it's not. They're doing their job. They do the best they can. They're there to win, and may the best team win, which is the Knicks.
Which is the Knicks. And you're correct. The ones that are good at their sports, they don't even really notice the crowd. They get into a laser focus where they're concentrating on their craft. And Wembanyama, whatever his name is, the 7'4" star of San Antonio, and thank you for the call, Judith, he's got bigger problems, and that's called the New York Knicks have him on almost lockdown, and he can't deliver for his team. So it's going to be interesting tonight. I think it's wonderful that President Trump is going to be there. I see Joe on Long Island, line 3, wants to talk about Trump at MSG. I've got to take a break, Joe. show. We see all the calls where you folks want to talk about Stephen A. Smith, Yehuda, Rockland County, Michael in Peekskill, Stacy in Colorado, and California. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. How many of us have to die? It's the direct route that I take to work. And I want you to think about this, right? So I can take New Jersey Transit from Suffering, New York into Penn Station, like these 5 people did last night that were stabbed. And you're taking your life into your own hands, because when you arrive at Penn Station, literally in each corner, the moment you get off the train, there's some mentally ill person doing something, right? Or you can drive and sit in traffic for 2.5 hours. For me, right? Sit in traffic. You can get hit for what? $15, $18 at the George Washington Bridge. But oh, no. They're not done yet. Not done yet. Then you got congestion pricing. So I'm what? Almost $45 in the hole before the workday even starts. Either sit in traffic for 2.5 hours and get hit for $40, $45 before I earn a dime, or take your life in your hand and get on the train, and good luck with that. Looking at my Twitter at my ex, Jimmy Fontanez. Jimmy, and happy birthday to you again. Jimmy says every talk show host has their regular favorite callers. That could be a man or a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. They are the ones who keep the ratings up. Keep up the good work, Dominic. Hey, Jimmy, you can't tell these people about ratings. They, oh no, you keep taking female callers. Helen says, and Jimmy's significant other here, Stephen A. Smith, is entitled to his opinion, but Donald Trump is a native New Yorker who was given a lot even before his presidency. He deserves to be at this historical event. And let the church say amen to Helen for that wonderful comment. Let's go to Stacy, line 2, Colorado. Stacy, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Well, I just want to, first of all, begin and say thank you for taking my call. Secondly, I love your show. Thank you for what you do on your show. You are an amazing host, by the way.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, Stacy.
Well, I'm calling because your caller that mentioned California, I was born and raised in California. I left there before all the mess happened. I saw what was coming, and took my family and I, and we just decided to get out, and thank God we did. It upsets me to see where California is headed and where it's been going, and it's terrible.
So, Stacy, how do these politicians think they can win driving the state into the ground?
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I've been watching it thinking there's hope with some of the newer politicians that are running and hoping and praying that they could win and that maybe it's with all the mess that's happened that wakes up those Californians to go, I don't want this anymore. Who wants all of that homeless and the high cost of living, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely, Stacy.
It's just terrible, and it's sickening, and yeah, it just needs to get better.
Stacy, thank you for the wonderful call. Do me a favor, please. Don't be a stranger. I want to hear from you in the future. Do we have a deal?
We have a deal, my friend.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's go from Stacy in Colorado to Joe on Long Island. Joe, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, it's actually John. Just a quick thing.
Okay, I don't know why we have a problem lately typing in the right names of callers. And then I'm the one on the air that sounds like a fool that refers to someone as the wrong name. But anyway, go right ahead, please.
My dad was Joe. It's okay. Just a quick thing. what's his name? The cast, they always remind you, Bob Grant. He used to say, "Get off my phone." You should use that, but add one more thing: get off my phone, jackass. Get off my phone, fool, lemon, whatever. You add something else to that because you are.
No, I like to get
Grant.
off my phone, jackass.
That fits you more. Yeah, jackass or fool. Whatever. But with that said, Don, one more thing. I don't want to take much of your time. So Trump, 1979, built the Trump Tower. The city was, you know what it was like in that period of time. He built the city, revitalized the enthusiasm for the city, the tax base, everything went along with that. Goes and now he's obviously in D.C. He's cleaned up all of D.C. The reflective pool, all the fountains, and they're bad. They're destroying them. The guy has a private life. He was a Knicks fan. He always was a Knicks fan. He was. You're
correct. Hey,
go there.
Joe, I have to step in because we're out of time. Why should facts get in the way of something good, right? Trump can't have any fun. He can't come see the Knicks. I'm being sarcastic. America's heroes need your help now. Do good in their honor by donating $11 a month. T2T.org. I'll be back at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.